I've had the Kyocera Duraforce Pro now for a couple weeks, and this is a follow-up to my unboxing video, which has been watched quite a few times, and thank you very much to those of you that have watched it. And especially want to thank those of you that have left comments asking some questions, and I'd like to hopefully address some of those questions for you through this video. You know, one of the bad things about an unboxing video is that you're kind of learning on the fly. You're opening it up and talking about it, and sometimes you get things right and sometimes you don't, and that's actually kind of the exciting thing about an unboxing video. And in that one, I kind of gave a little tour and talked about some things, and I've had a little bit longer, so I'm going to show a few details that perhaps I missed on that previous one. One thing I accidentally, I don't know why I called this the power button, and this is actually the volume rockers here for up and down. Over here on the side, this is the fingerprint sensor to turn the device on, which is fantastic, and I'll show you a little more about that. And then here we have the external speakers, which, as advertised, are quite loud, and I really have enjoyed that part of it. Here we have your kind of standard, your home button. You can close out some windows here, and then you have a back button. And a lot of devices don't have these buttons, and I can tell you after having used it outside, I've used it with gloves here, it's winter time right now at the filming of this, that having buttons is something that, that I've really appreciated. Over here you have the dedicated push-to-talk button. And I've used push-to-talk a few times now. I'm kind of new to that feature, and it has been neat with the other folks that I know that have this device that we've been able to talk as a group, which is kind of cool. Now, on this device, you got to keep it in perspective. It is not one of those kind of dainty flagship type phones that when people see it and go, oh, I see you have the new such and such. Basically, as I've shared this device with other people, and I put it in their hand, their reaction is like, oh wow, that is heavy. Yes, because this device is built for durability, and you can see no need for a case because it's completely surrounded and protected. Now I kind of brought with me another a flagship device from one of their competitors to kind of give you a good comparison. And you can see here, just looking at it, the big difference between the thickness, which of course also interprets to a big difference in the weight. But if you're going with this device, you're probably going with it because you want the durability. And I can tell you just very recently, I got to test that out. Unfortunately, not on purpose, but fortunately things worked out. And you can see here, if you look closely, and maybe, hopefully you can see it, a few scratches and dings that I've already put on the device. And what happened was I was out rock climbing and dropped it on a granite face. And as the device kind of tumbled down the granite, I was like, oh my gosh, here I go, a brand new phone, I've already broken it. Which is a normal reaction when you drop your device and you haven't put an external case on it. Sure enough, as I crawled down the face and found it in a crevasse, it was in perfect condition. Minus just, of course, a few of these scratches. So that is fantastic. You know, another thing on a device like this, and you'll see touted, is the waterproof. This device, if you didn't know, is rated that it can be under 6 feet of water for up to 30 minutes. And one of the things that makes that possible are these covers on the port, so I want to make sure I show you that. You can see here is the cover for the power port. Then up here you'll find, if I can get it open here, you'll find the headset. So if you want to make sure that your device truly is protected from water, you're going to make sure that you have those ports covered. Another thing, and a good question that I've been asked about this device, is the battery time, and I can tell you it has been fantastic. I have charged this battery up early in the day, and unlike my other devices, I'm a heavy user when it comes to data. Not a big talker, but I'm a heavy user when it comes to data. It is lasting all day, no problem, with plenty of time to go at the end of the day, and that has been really good. My other favorite thing about this device so far is right here. That is the fingerprint sensor. Since this is basically a dedicated case, they didn't have to worry about the impact of a case if one were to be added. So they were able to put the power or the fingerprint sensor in a rather unusual place right here on the side. And you can see that works out perfect when touching the device with your exposed hand. Of course, if you're wearing some gloves, the fingerprint sensor is not going to work, but then I have a good pin code there that's going to take place really easy. So those have been my favorite things about this device. The incredible durability, the confidence I know that the waterproofness is going to help if I were to drop it in some water, and then also the fingerprint sensor. Now a couple of things that I haven't liked, and one of the questions I had is what about the camera? The camera is decent, but I can say in comparison to some flagship devices that I've used. It really struggles when it gets to low light, and it struggles a little bit as far as the high quality in comparison to a flagship device. What I'm having to remind myself is this is not a flagship device. This is a device intended for durability, for outdoors, battery time, and those type of things. Now, there is one thing on the camera that I really have liked, is the widescreen view, the wide angle view for the camera. I love a wide angle, and I'm a photographer from years ago, and I always had a wide angle lens on my cameras, and I've missed that on phones. And the wide angle, when you are taking a picture outside or with a group or in different places, is super handy. And what I'll do is I'm going to take some of the pictures that I've taken using the wide angle and regular angle, as well as a short video, and I will post that as well very shortly after having posted this video. So here we are. That is my 2-week impression of the Duraforce Pro. Overall, I'm going to say it's meeting my expectations for what I expected from a device in this price range and with this durability as advertised. So if you have any other additional questions on it, please leave them. Check out my blog. I'll be writing about this and I'll put a link in it. And thank you so much for watching, and thank you for leaving comments. Have a great one.